Joining me now is Doug Robertson, who spent 25 years with the Guelph Storm as an assistant equipment manager and then equipment manager. Doug, thanks so much for joining me. And maybe you can explain a bit for people, what is the role in the equipment manager team?
The role is to make sure you take care of all 22 guys in the dressing room. All their needs as sharpening skates, the laundry after the games, the visiting teams coming in to take care of them with laundry that are staying overnight, hanging up, going back down to the rink after you leave the rink in 4 hours because you have another team that you're playing the next day or that night coming in to help out. It's more being there every day, getting player sticks, ordering, maintaining the equipment so it doesn't break down, listening to George get ready for practice, setups. There's always something. It's always a good full hour day.
You were there for 3 OHL Championships, which is incredible. What made those teams so special?
Just working with those incredible athletes on a day-to-day basis and winning something special is unreal. The 2004 team and 16 team, we had Dan Paille, Marty St. Pierre, and those guys out in Kelowna. That was a wild ride. That was a team that we went out there to be the number one team going out there in the tournament and lost 4 straight and were sent home pretty early. The 14 team was unreal. We cruised through the tournament undefeated, and then we go to the finals where we've never lost back-to-back games, and you lose in the final, which was the game that counted. Everybody counted on the Guelph Storm winning. And to see the talent on the other side at those tournaments are unbelievable too. And then our comeback kids in the last championship there we just had, what a ride, what an unbelievable feeling. I couldn't ask for a better group of kids that actually gave it all every night and never counted themselves out. And that goes with every team that I've been with all 25 years of the team, either pushing to get in the playoffs or just, working night after night, giving it 110% all they have.
Were there players who had superstitions that made it tough for an equipment manager?
Goalies are very superstitious. You don't want to touch with their stuff unless they ask you. They're a special group that nobody knows unless you're a goalie. If you're a goalie, you know what I'm talking about. But those are the players that you leave a room, leave alone. And I don't know if you remember, we had the Super Series with John Tavares. The year he came, he always laid 3 sticks out in front of the stall, and you don't touch those. That's the way they were. And Gogo was the same way. He'd always send me a text and say, "Hey, Dougie, can you set my sticks out in front of my stall?" Those are the 2 guys that stick out to me the most.
Of course, you worked with Russ Hammond, Rusty, for so many years. What did you learn from him, and what did you get from being around him?
Rusty and I just fed off of each other the whole time. I don't know, way back in 1992 when the Storm first arrived, I was the original water boy for the Storm, and Rusty was right beside me in the junior B room. We shared a shower together in the same facility in the Memorial Gardens. So we've always sought this stuff, and we've always fed off each other. And watching him do his stuff, the laundry and the skate sharpening. And I worked at the sports store across the street at the hockey shop. That's originally how I started learning all this stuff. And then it took Todd Bertuzzi to come over and get a skate sharpened by me one day at the hockey shop. And the next minute, I was over across the way sharpening skates, and Mike Kelly and Alan Miller and all those guys gave me the opportunity to help out. And here I am today, stepping away from everything.
There must have been lots of troubleshooting, logistics, being an equipment manager. Was there ever a time where there was something you were like, we can't do this, but you managed to pull it off?
I don't know if you remember the game way back when we were playing Windsor and Popovich steel popped out and I couldn't get it back in, and Dawsey had to go in and face a penalty shot. That was nerve-breaking right there because it was unbelievable. The rest were saying you got to either get them off or get it in. The steel popped out and I couldn't get it back in. Dawsey faced a cold penalty shot, and as the shot was coming down, Poppy's steel popped back in, but it was already too late. So that was a moment that I'll never forget. And you talk about when George is breathing down your neck or the coach breathing down your neck and saying, "What do you mean you can't get it in?" You got to take the punches and just let it roll off your shoulders like any other job.
What are those coaches like to work with, especially some of the guys you've worked with who've, coached at a higher level as well?
Some are really laid back, and some are really intense to make sure, if players are slipping and falling, you got to have the question. Say, if it's the same player over and over again, well, I'm not sure. Like sometimes you have to look the other direction. It's always the equipment guy's fault. Maybe it's not, but we take the main blunt and the blows of it.
What's your best memory, outside of the championships, from just, the regular season or life with an OHL team?
When you go to the different cities and the scouts that you meet from NHL teams, ex-NHL players that are now agents or scouts. I still remember the time Bobby Orr coming in and tapping you on the shoulder. And it'd be one of those jokes where you look where he touched you, but he's on the other side. He's laughing the whole time. Just seeing those guys and asking your opinion and stuff like that. So it's about the players and the fans. Also the kids that are wanting to do your job and seeing their face when you give them a puck or a stick or something like that. It wasn't always, fun and joy to give a stick away when the coach is breathing, but sometimes it had a small crack or the player said it was too whippy, but to give it to a fan and to see the look on their face, those are special moments to me.
Well, congratulations, a great career with the Guelph Storm, and best of luck as you're moving on, Doug.
Thank you.